So today what we are going to discuss is mainly one is the SQL syntax, that how the basic query works. Okay. Second, we'll be covering the type of join. Okay. So first we will be covering select SQL syntax. So what is it? How the data gets transformed? Why we use it? What and when we use it, etc. Okay. So first, for you, let me create a table. Suppose I have this customer table. This is the sales column, and this is, let's suppose, there some date, and some, let's suppose, this is the department. Okay, in which department he make a purchase. Okay, cool. So let's suppose customer ID 111 222, sale is 100 50 150 200, date, let's suppose, 1st of January, 2nd of January, 1st of January, and 1st of January. Department, let's suppose he make a purchase from 100, so let's suppose department A, and now it's, let's suppose, AB, AC, and AA. Okay, so this is the table structure you have here. Okay, now there are syntax, mainly I think we will be using these syntax in the basic query, not in terms of join and all. So I'll be covering as well in the advanced section. But what are the basic query that looks like? That why we use select, why we use where from, why we use where, why we use group, having, order, limit, etc. Okay, so why we use where is nothing but, so first, why we use select. So the basic first thing that why we use select is like selecting the data. Okay, so in the select statement, you first thing you have to write is a select. Okay, so select means whatever you select, it will print. It's more like a print to you. Okay, so for example, even if I write select 5, okay, so it will print the result, or it will be result, it will show this like this one. Select 5 means 5, so it moves like a, in SQL language, in a layman way, it's called print. Okay, so select 5, it will give you 5. Okay, now if I write select 2, so it will print you 2. Okay, but now we are using the select into our database data table, right? So over there what we do, so we simply write select star from table name. Okay, so star represents all the column. Okay, if let's suppose if the table have 6 columns, so it will give you all the 6 columns. So select, which you have to use by default, star represents all the columns, from, and then table name. From means, okay, from which table you are pushing the data, you are pulling the data, that's why you're using from, and then table name. Suppose this table name is something order data, order, let's suppose. Okay, and if I write like this, select star from order. Okay, so what the result it will give me? It will give me the result like this. This will be the result will gonna look like, because I'm using select star from order. So select definitely is gonna print you. Star means all the columns, from which table? So order table. Another way is doing that, because obviously you will not be having always 6 columns. You might be having 100 150 column, but at the end of the day you require only your relevant column. So over there what we use is this one. Suppose I want the only customer ID and the sales column. So first we write customer ID, then I have to write another column which is sales. Now SQL will confuse, okay, what is these 2 columns? So to distinguish between the 2 columns, we will be adding the comma over here, so that the SQL understand, okay, these 2 columns are different. So select customer ID comma sales from order. So now what the result it will give you? It will give you only these 2 columns, which is customer ID and sales, nothing else. Okay, so select star from order, select customer ID, sales from order. Does that make sense? Any question so far?
Yeah, should we not put the opening bracket and the closing bracket after customer?
Where?
After the customer ID, before the customer ID, opening bracket, and closing bracket after the sales, we should do that.
You can do that, but why will you do it? Because round bracket you add it, so
Huh.
basically it should have function. I don't think round bracket will work that way, because when you add the round bracket, so it means you are putting as something as an argument, okay, and top of
Mm.
which you will have be doing something, okay.
Okay, okay, okay.
So
Got it, got it.
over there
Yeah.
you're just selecting the column, okay. So I'll
Mm-hmm.
mention you, okay, in which case we will be using this round bracket, right? But any of the case, for example, in the Python or SQL, when you say print underscore, like round bracket open and close, so it means you're giving something inside in the argument and you are getting some action done. But over there
Okay.
we are not doing that. We are simply
Got
asking to column to print, that's it.
Yes, yes, yes.
Make sense, guys?
Yeah.
So this is all about the SQL
Yes, yes.
select statement. One thing that I also can do is about the alias name, okay. This you have to be remember. So what is alias? Alias is nothing but it's more like a nickname, okay. I believe we all have some nickname. So in the SQL we also have nickname. Why is that? Suppose this table we have, okay, suppose this table is something, because I have mentioned you, okay, order table, because generally the data doesn't transform data does not look like that, okay. So first it will have the actual data table name that exists in any data company. It will be like this schema name, and it will be a very long name. For example, I can say customer purchase, or suppose department September data. So you understand, and schema name is nothing but the database name where the data is just being stored. If you get it, it's fine. Otherwise, just no need to focus. But the point that I'm trying to make, you understand how big data name is. So definitely you cannot keep writing like this. Select star from like this, right? So it's very difficult to. So that's why what we do, we just give a nickname to a table. Call schema. We will give like, we can also give like this something. This table name we can give you like this T. So for this table I can give as T. Make sense? And same column, same schema we can leverage. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, go on. Yeah. So same schema what can you use? So for example, select T dot customer ID, comma T dot sales as from order table. Okay. Let's suppose, or maybe whatever the table is, this one, okay, which is T. Why we using T dot cust ID, but we earlier did not use it? Because over here we have only one table. That's why you mentioned T dot or not, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day table name is only one, okay. But
So T refers to table na.
yeah, right. So this will refer to this table, September data table, because you have given the alias name as T. So over here you mentioned T dot something, it doesn't matter because the table name is only one. But going forward, when you join multiple tables, right, so over there you have to give some alias. Otherwise you have to every time like this. Let's suppose I have this table name like this, you will have to write like this table name dot customer ID, this table name dot sales, right? So it doesn't make sense, right? So that's why we give an alias. So that's the point I'm just trying to make, that you give an alias, you should understand, okay, I can give like some name. Similarly, I can also do the nickname to the column as well. So the nicknaming is happening at the table level first, second is happening at the column level. What do I mean by that? So this is table level, second is at the column level, okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
Mazher, can we use instead of the table name also we can mention T, right? Like select T dot customer ID, T dot sales from T.
Sorry, your voice is very slow.
Now I'm audible clear.
Yeah, better go on.
Like can we replace the table name also as T, right? Like select T dot customer ID, T dot sales from T, or we need to mention the full table name there.
No, we have to give the full table name there, because see again, how will the SQL know what is T? because T
Not
table,
that, like down below query, second one.
this one.
Yeah,
So you are saying me, okay, can I write like this way?
T dot customer ID, T dot sales from T.
Yeah. So what is T?
Okay. So we mentioned before also, we needed to
Yeah.
mention again, right?
Yeah. Because it will have, you have supposed to give the table name the actual name. Otherwise, SQL doesn't know what is T, right?
Okay, okay.
So it just you add the nickname and then you give an alias. Okay.
Okay. So in each query we need to write like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you will have to mention only once. That's it. Okay.
So Mazhar, this alias name and that alias name for table and alias name for column, what you're telling, this is done by data engineers while creating the table, is it?
No, no, not creating the. When you are referring the table to print the result, whatever the want, the way you want, because this table is already created, right? I'm
Hmm.
just printing the result at which level I want. I want select star from this. I want to do this aggregation, correct?
Hmm.
So it's just when you are doing the data manipulation part.
Hmm.
Okay.
Got it, but how will SQL know which alias name I'm giving to which column or which alias name I'm giving to which table?
Yeah. So that's how it's getting, right. So for example, this is the table name. Okay.
Hmm?
This is the table name you have given. Now you are mentioning
Hmm.
as something as T. So over here, so as is not mandatory, is an optional. Okay.
Hmm.
So when you this mention table name as T, so T,
Hmm.
so SQL will know, okay, this table alias name is T.
Okay, so next time I can use only T then.
Yeah, but in the same query, it won't be like that. Okay, you are going bottom and you are writing T. It won't work. It won't work like that. Okay, in the same query I'm talking about.
So in
Okay.
the first line I should write T, and in the subsequent lines I can write T.
No, 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 no.
First, huh?
For example, I have used this one. Now in the suppose next row, if I have to write, let's suppose select T dot date, comma T dot customer ID, and if you say okay, if I can write from T, no, this will not run,
Mm.
right? Because again, SQL will not know what is the table name over here. Okay,
Mm.
but over here, so you understand the pain point. If I would not have mentioned T over here, you would have
Mm.
write the exact table name dot customer
Mm.
ID, comma exact table name dot sales. Okay,
Mm.
that is the main point. That is the purpose of the using the alias. So you don't have to mention the table name each and every time.
Okay.
Makes sense? And this will run only in that query. Okay.
Okay.
Even I can something, let's suppose I can give you something like y. Then again I can use as y dot date, y dot customer ID. It does not to be the same as well.
So with the help of this query, we can select the name and we can
Yeah.
suggest the name of table. Is it
Yeah.
like a nickname as you
Yeah.
told
Nickname,
earlier?
whatever, whichever you want to give. Okay.
Okay.
So this
So this
nickname.
will help us for more data tables, na? This.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Now next I'm going. So now actually you have doubt, so we can cover after like covering things. Okay. I'll have the extra time for that. But let me wrap this thing. Okay.
Okay.
Now we have the column level. So in the column level, like the giving the alias name, same I can give the alias to the column level as well, right? Suppose I did not like this name customer ID. I want the full name to be as customer ID, customer sales, customer date, right? So over there, let's suppose I write this name, select. Suppose I wrote customer ID, comma sales. Okay. So this what will give you the result like this. But over here, I don't want my customer ID or sales name to be printed like this. Instead, I want like this: customer ID and sales. Okay. So this is, I want to be like this one. Okay. So over there, we can also do the aliasing for the name as well. So what we can do, simply paste it, and also we can do like as customer ID, as customer sales from order type. Similarly, customer ID.
But sir, what does this order mean here, Sadan? Mazhar?
Ordered means table.
Okay, okay.
Okay, is the order name. So which is this table name. Okay.
Oh, table name made it as order, is it? Okay, okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah.
So far you should be understanding why we are using select, why we are using the alias name, what it has, why using etc. Okay. Now let's go to the select from done. Now where group having order limit. Okay, so we will go to the where. So what where does, where just filter the records, nothing else. I have 100 rows, I want 50 rows, I want 30 rows. That is the role of where. And which 30 rows I want, which 50 rows I want, that depends on our requirement. For example, I have this data set. Okay, so when I set filtration, so I can say okay, I want only those or data where the customer ID is equal to 1. That is one way of saying it. I can also say okay, I want only those customer where the sales is greater than 100, right? I can also say I want those customer where the department name is AA, right? So this is exactly what we do. So select star from table T, let's suppose order, where suppose customer ID is equal to 1. So this where, how you write it, so exact syntax will be like this: where column name and some condition. Okay, so for example I have mentioned here where column name, which is customer ID, is equal to 1. Okay, and what the result it will print you, it will only print this one. This is the result you gonna look like. Understood? Similarly, now I'm saying where customer ID is equal to 1. Okay, it can have, since customer ID is equal to 1 is nothing but a numeric number. Now the data type I'm filtering, it can be string, it can be a date, it can be anything. Okay, so when you mention as the string, suppose if I have to filter out the record department A. Okay, for example, let's suppose this query. So for the string, we keep the things in the code. Department is equal to AA, like this. Okay, so in the numeric number, let LHS is equal to RHS, and in department again LHS is equal to RHS, but in single quote. Okay, otherwise it will not know what is AAA. Okay, so in the string when you mention where condition, so you have to mention in the single quotes, and accordingly what result it will give you, it will give you the result like this, like this. Okay, 100 to 200. So far clear guys? Any question, let me know. B, both is very simple and basic. Is this clear?
So, Mazher, can we use multiple conditions?
Yeah, I was going to go ahead, but for now single condition, is it clear or not?
In where we just need to put some condition and where, so we will get
Yep.
the data. Like earlier you have shown us
Yeah,
the customer ID, then you have shown us the department.
yeah. So now I was working only with a single condition. I can give the multiple condition as an n number of I want. For example, I can also give okay, select star from order, department is equal to AA, but customer ID it should be equal to 1, right? So this is the multi condition,
Okay.
right? Similarly, I can also say where, so this is more like and in which two condition are matching. Similarly, I can say any one of the condition is being matched, which is or, right?
Okay.
So or represents, so and means both conditions should be matching, like department AA and customer ID is equal to 1. Okay, but if I write the or condition, so it means any condition works. So department AA or customer ID is equal to 1. So what will give you the result? So customer ID is equal to 1, definitely this record will be there. And then where it is, there is yeah, and department A, so these three will also come. Okay,
Okay.
Make sense? So because we are giving the or condition, which means any one of the condition is satisfied, I am fine. And over here, and means both condition has to be satisfied. What does that means? And okay,
Okay.
cool. Now there is another way of saying. So this is equal to sign, right? So basically you are putting the condition is equal to. There is another way of saying is called in and between. Okay, so in nothing but, suppose if I say customer ad is equal to 1 2 3, I want all these two customer, right? So the better way of writing this, I will not be writing like this. So suppose I have the in, select star from where, order where customer ad is equal to in. Now I am asking, okay, I want those customer where the customer ad is equal to 1 2 3. So I will not be writing like this, customer ad is equal to 1 or customer ad is equal to 2 or is equal to 3, right? So this is not the good approach, bad approach. Okay, instead we will do this. Instead we will do this. We will simply write it down like this. Select star from order, you are all good. Where I'll write where cust id in, we will use the function in over here, and in the round bracket 1 2 3. So you don't have to write the column name each and every time, you just have to pass the value at only once, and the column name you have to mention only once. Okay, similarly I can also write like this, select star from order where department in for string, because this is more like a numeric number, single aa comma single ab. Okay, so you can also do this for string. So this is all about the in function. Okay, there is another function called between. Between, as the name suggests, something a and b. Okay, so suppose I want the sales, I want those customer id. So is this clear or not? Till in having order in where, is this clear?
Uh,
Hmm.
so in is a replacement for or, right?
No.
Always.
Yeah, you can say, like you don't have to like multiple condition, because see, I won't say or because it can be and condition anything else, right? So one way you can say, yeah, it's a replacement of all. So just remember this, you don't have to write the multiple condition. Okay, you just have to write only one single condition, that's it. Okay, so for
Okay,
this
so
scenario, for this example, I would say, yeah, this is the replacement of or. But again, there might be a case where the or and condition are mixed. Okay, so over there you cannot use in. Okay,
okay. So in can be used for different approaches as well, not only for this.
no, in can be used only when you look at, okay, I want to have these three value, I want the result.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
why
But
I'm saying,
other than this concept, where can in be used?
that is
How
the only
can
reason,
in be used?
that is the only reason, that is the only place. Okay,
Okay,
now I'm saying the answer to the question, okay, is the replacement of or, I would say no, because
okay,
or condition can be mixed with and as well. Okay, so over there I won't say, okay, instead of or write the in function. Okay, so over there it will
okay,
not work.
okay. Thank you.
Make sense? Now between suggests,
Yes.
as the name suggests, okay, it
Mazher, I have a question.
Mhm.
Is it not possible to combine in along with and?
Yeah,
For
you can combine,
example,
you can
is it
combine.
possible?
Yeah, so
Can combine, right?
yeah,
Okay.
so when we'll be solving the lead code question, right? So we'll be covering a lot of these scenario, but right now I'm just gonna explain you how this in works, how this between works, how this and works. You should be only
Sure.
knowing that. Okay, because once the data transformation is done, we will be mixing a lot of SQL concept into one. Okay, so these are the very very small concept. When we'll be solving the lead code question, you will be seeing a lot of these concepts merging into one. Okay, we'll in the same syntax we might be writing this is equal to in and between from where group by single query. Okay, So again, it depends on the use case, and we'll be using that as well. Okay. Now talking about the between, but fundamentally, the point I'm trying to make, or everyone should be aware of it, that the whatever whichever things I'm telling you, okay, what in does, you should be knowing that. What between does, you should be knowing that. What select does, you should be knowing that. How we are gonna leverage is, that is a different story. But fundamentally, when we will be solving questions, so question should not arise, okay, what in does, right? So you should be very have the clear idea, okay, function in does, and that is the requirement. Okay. So you should be very clear, okay, what in does, what between does, what select does, what join does, etc. So now theory will explain you what thing, what it does it do, right? In the practical, you will understand why we are doing it. That is a different story. But fundamentally, you should be very clear why we are using in, why, like what in does, what between does, etc. Okay. Now talking about the between, so between is nothing but it tell you the record between something to something, and it's always work in the numeric number. Okay. So for example, I can say between, write me SQL query where sale is between 100 to 200, right? So I can simply write select star from orders where sales between 100 and 200. Okay. So this will just give you the result like this. So 100 and 200, so definitely the 50 row will be deleted, correct? So this is how the, and also the between means it is inclusive. It also will take 100 and also it will take 200. Okay. So this is the inclusive method. All good. So now, so far I explained you what is the order table name, what the select works, what is the alias we do, why we do it. Okay. Then how, what, where works, where is nothing but customer ID is equal to 1, and how the where works in the string function, numeric number, etc. In between, because in the where there are lots of argument you can take in between. So that's I explain you. Okay. So at the fundamental level, you should be know, okay, where just filter the record, at which level you can go and check the syntax. Okay, if it is the string, okay, you have to use the single quote. If it is the integer, then you have to just mention is equal to. Now again you can check if it is a single condition, just mention something column name is equal to 1 or something single quote. But if it is a multiple condition, then you have to mention and or. Okay. Now we will be covering about the group by. So,
Mazher, I have a question on between.
yeah.
Between is applicable only to integers, or can it be applied on string as well?
No. So you tell me, for example, if I'm saying something between, right? So it
Yeah.
will be working only in the integer with the numeric number, because otherwise it will not understand the sequential order, right? So the numeric
Okay.
number you can play, okay, 1 to 100, 1 comes first, 100 comes later, right? But in terms of
Right.
string, it will not understand which come first.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so it will work only
So
with the
between
numeric
can
number.
only be used on integer data type.
Yep.
Right.
Integer or float, which means numeric. Okay.
Float. Yeah, numeric data types. Yeah.
Okay. Now we will understand one of the very important topic, which is group by. So group by, as the name suggests, it's nothing but it group the data. Okay. Group by means it group the data, and once you group the data, what after grouping what you need, it depends. It can sum, it can average, it can count, it can take the unique count, it can take minim, it can take max, depends on your use case. So I'll explain you a very basic way, which is sum first. Suppose I have this table simply. Okay. So group by, when I say group by means always remember it's aggregate the data, it's collate the data, it's summing it up. Okay. Which is combining at that level. For example, I'm saying the group by at the customer ID, which means for this particular customer, for rest 3 column whatever I have, any calculation I want to have, I can have. I can take sum of sales, I can take count of date, I can take count of department. Okay. So all this column, because sales only sum can happen, you can only sum the sales, you can count the sales. For date, you can only count the date, right? You cannot sum the date. So that's why only count function will work there. and also you can take the min function as well. So first we need to understand what are the function that we're gonna take, or the calculation that we can do. So first is say sum, count, min, max, on min max, so count distance, that's about, and average. Okay. So on the group by, you can do these set of calculation. Okay. Now it depends. For example, if I ask you sum, so you understand on the sum column, sum can be done, average can be done, count can be done, min can be done, maximum can be done, even count distance can be happen. Count distance means how many number of unique cells are there. But when I comes to the date, can you sum the date? I won't say no. Can you average the date? I won't say no. But you can count the date. You can take the minimum of date. You can take the maximum of date. You can also take the count distance, which is unique dates. Similarly, and why is that? Because date is a different format. You cannot do the sum and average. Similarly, for department, sum and average cannot be done. Count, min, maximum you can do. So just remember, these type of calculation we can do in the group by, and it depends at which level you want to do. What I mean, for example, if I have to check the total sales for each customer, so which means total sales for each customer, it means I want the total sales for each customer. Okay. So what I'll do, it will be like this, customer ID sale. So if I say how many is the total sale for customer A, customer 1, how many is the total sales for customer 1?
150. 150.
For 1,
150.
100 or
150.
150?
100.
1. Total sales is 150.
150.
150, right? And what about 2?
150.
150.
And what about 3?
200.
200.
200. So basically, since already there was no other record for 2, you did not sum. If there's only one value, that's why you just sum it up. But for 1, there are like multiple sales, so you just sum it up. Okay. So total sales for each customer will be like this. Now the syntax you is gonna write will be like this. Select, I'm just keeping it here, from order, table name. Now what I said, total sales for each customer. So you will have to write group by customer ID, and in the select you will write again customer ID, comma, sum of sales. So this will give you the total sales for each customer. Make sense? Now if I don't give the alias of the column name, right? So you know what the result it will give you? It will give you the column name like this, because you have not given the alias name like this. So it will give you the alias like this. So you understand that this column name is not very readable, because over here calculation is very easy, so it doesn't make sense. So that is the logic of giving the alias. If I write like this, sum of sales as total sales, then over there you can rename this column name to this, which is nothing but total sales. Okay. So 2 concepts I explain you over here. First, you are doing the total sales by customer, and second is also you doing the alias to this total sales. Make sense? Any doubt, guys?
So can we also group by department also?
Sorry,
Can we also group by department?
group by what?
Department.
Yeah. So again, it's on you at which level you want. I can group by date, I can group by date, department, customer ID, even sales if you want to, right? For example, for customer ID I have done. Similarly, I can do as the department level as well. So over here, let's suppose department is A. So what is the total sale for department A? Yeah. So tell me.
300.
A. Yeah. What about B?
50.
50 and 150, right? So over here, what I'll just do, instead of customer ID, I'll just take the department ID.
Okay.
Nothing else. Okay. So this is more around sum. I can use the sum, I can use the average, I can take the min, I can take the max, I can take the count instant. So I'll explain you in one line. Okay. Suppose for department.
Mazher, I have a question.
Yeah.
Now, in this SQL statement, if you omit group by,
Yeah.
what will be the result of that query?
It will
If
not
it's
print.
just
It will not
it
print.
will not. Okay.
Because it will not understand. Okay, you want the customer ID, you want the sum of sales, but group by at
Sum
what
order.
level? Yeah. So this is the complete incomplete syntax. It will print something like that.
Okay. So sum, if we want to use any arithmetic operations like sum, then group by is always mandatory.
Group by is always mandatory. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and that way the query will be completed. Otherwise, query SQL query your is incomplete. Okay.
Sure.
So that's why I have explained you how the custom ID look like. Now I explain each and every column one by one. So suppose I have this total sales. So this is the total sales. Average count. So this will be the total sale. This will be the average of sales. This will be what? Count of sales. This will be min of sales. This will be max of sales. This will be unique sales. Yeah. One thing actually I want you to write in your notes right now. So in solving any SQL question, there are three phases. First, you need to understand the SQL question, what the question is saying. It has nothing to do with writing the actual query. It's understanding the question, what is the input table, what is the output table. Okay. Second question, things comes in terms of logic building. What is the logic you gonna put? Over there itself, I won't say SQL will come into the picture. Okay. It's just the logic building. Okay, how I can do it? I have to use the average function. I have to use the join. I have to do this. I have to do that. You are not writing the actual query over there. In the third stage, you actually start writing the syntax. Okay. So for first, over here, this is the question I'm explaining you. Okay, this is the customer ID. This is the sales. This is the date. This is the department. Okay. So this is the question explanation. First, question understanding and the answer. Okay, how the data is gonna look like. So I'm asking you simply to print the following column for each customer, right? Following fields for each customer. So which means for 1, 2, 3, I want the total sales, right? So what is the total sales for 1? It will be 150, 2, 150 and 200, correct? And what will be over here? The average sale of customer ID 1, it will be 75, right? 75 it will be or not?
Yes.
Yes.
Similarly, average will be remain same. Count of sale will be how much? For customer ID it will be 2 because 2 sales happen, and over here it will be 1 and 1. Correct?
Yes.
Similarly, for minimum of sales means when was the first sale happened, which is nothing but 1st January. Similarly, for second and third is also 1st of January because only one record exists. And for maximum sales, it will be 2nd of January for customer ID 1, and it will be 1st of January for others. And the unique sales that happened, it again unique sales and the count of sale will remain the same in this table. So it will be 2, 1 and 1. Okay. So this is the table that I want mine to transform you. This is the input table. This is the table I want. So this is the question understanding. Okay, this is what I have. This is what I can want to do to get the results. Now the logic understanding says, okay, how you can do that. So you can see, okay, for total sales I leverage the sum, then I can average the average, count, min, max, and you count distance. So this is the logical understanding. Now how you can write the query is the actual solution. So first again I can write like this: select from order, and then I can write what? Group by customer ID, right?
Yes.
Now I'm writing over here more better. So customer ID, I can write it like this: customer ID. Then I'll give the comma so that it understand what column I'm talking about. Then I will say as sum of sales as total sale, comma, because again next column average of sales as average sales, count of sales as,
As count sales.
okay. Now I have to take the minimum of date and all, so I will use the date function over there: min of date as min date. Again I'll take the maximum.
Mazher, like for min sales and max sales, will it fetch with the figure or the date?
It will be the date. So when I say min sales,
Mazher,
it
it should
means
be
in terms of
min
time.
sale, right? As min sale, not min date.
No, it will be like, okay, maybe I wrote it not the better way, so it's more like a
Yeah, I think that's
first,
a little confusing. Yeah.
first
Column
transaction,
name.
transaction, last transaction. Okay. Now it does make sense.
Yeah.
So it will be first transaction. It will be the last transaction. Then you have the unique sales. So obviously we don't have the order ID, so we can skip this one. Okay. So just remember this one. These all 5. Okay. So how you're taking it? I can take the, since I am rolling up the customer ID, so that's why I'm getting this. Okay. I can take the department ID. I can also take the multiple column here, but the fundamental structure will remain always like this. Select some column name, then comma separated by the field that you want to aggregate from table, and then group by. Clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Now this is all about group by. Then we will jump to having an order. So you might have understand what having where does. Where?
Sir, I have one.
Yeah, go on.
For last transaction also you're writing min.
Sorry, my bad.
It is
Max.
max.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So now where does, where just filter the record. You are fine. We all understand that it was just filtering the record or not.
Yes, sir.
In the group by, it was just summing the data. It was aggregating the data. It can be sum, it can be count, it can be min, max, whatever you want to. Having is a combination of both. Okay. Having says aggregate the data first. When I say aggregate, means doing the calculation first and then filter the record. So it's a combination of group by and where. Okay. For example, this is the table. If I say okay, so this is the data table I have. Okay, I want you to write a query to identify those customers who have total sales greater than 160, right? So for, if I'm saying to identify those customers whose total sale is greater than 160, so for that what you will do, you will identify the total sales for each customer or not. That way only you will tell, okay, if the final total sale is greater than 160 or not. Correct?
Yes. So
So-
some.
Yeah.
Right? So what total sales, when you are calculating the total sales, what is exactly doing? It's doing the simply group by. Am I right? and then you are also filtering the data. That is the work of what is the role of where, right? So what having will does, and how we write the syntax, it's like this: select from order, group by, or maybe just remember this: having sum of sales greater than 160. And also you have to mention the group by as well. Group by customer ID. Okay, having sums greater than 160, and in the select you will just print the customer ID. That's it. It's very easy one, don't get confused. It just combining the both steps, aggregation plus where. That's why we use having. So having, you aggregate the data and then filter. So that's what exactly we're doing. So we'll use the group by and having both, because otherwise if we don't use the group by, then it will not understand okay at which level you are doing the sales, right? So having sum of sales, group by before the order of execution like this, select from where, group by having order. So group by, and then you will simply count it as having sum of sales greater than 160, and this will be the customer ID. Make sense? Similarly,
No,
I
Mazhar,
can
you are telling the result will be the above column, is it?
the result, no, the result will be like this. Result
Only
I'm
the two
printing,
columns.
no, result I'm gonna print you like this. Suppose the, so how many total cells we have? 1 2 3, right? So for the one I have 150 cells, for 150 and 200. Okay,
Two will not be there, I think. Yeah.
yeah. So this is, let's suppose total sales will be this or not, correct? Now you will
Yes.
check, okay, if total sales is greater than 150 or not 60, so you will conclude okay only 3 is there, right? So it will print only 3. So the result will contain only 3. Okay, since you are printing only customer ID, so total sales will not be there. So this will give you the customer ID is equal to 3.
Mm.
Make sense?
Okay, got it. Yes.
So these are all theory, but again, if you don't understand the fundamental, how the fundamental are working, you cannot solve the question, because these are the very basic concept you need to learn. Okay.
So, Mazhar, when we are selecting only customer ID, do we still have to group by only customer ID since there is only one column?
Yeah. Why? Let's suppose I don't use the group by. Okay. How the having function will understand you are taking the sum of sales for what? It can be department as well. It can be customer ID as well. It can be date as well, right? So that's why you have to define the group by.
Okay.
Suppose, so in the let's that scenario you don't mention the customer ID. So having sum of sales at what level? Correct. So that's why we
Right.
add the group by. Okay.
So
And
Mazhar,
Mazhar, if you also want to display the total sales along with the customer ID,
Yeah.
then we'll have to add total sales in the select statement,
Yeah.
right?
You simply write this sum of sales is total sales. So it will give you like this result. Total sales this. Yeah.
But sum of sales is already present in having.
Yeah.
Is it required to?
Yeah. So
It
the but
doesn't.
the role is different. It is just
Okay.
filtering the record, right? It is just filtering the record. But the at the top, if you are writing the sum of sales, it will give you the printing the results. So printing and
Okay.
filtering are two actions different. So if you mention
Okay.
over here in 215 14, so okay, it will filter the record. But if you want to print that as well, then you have to mention in the select statement as well.
Mm-hmm.
Make sense?
Okay. Mazhar, just a very quick one. In group by, when we are passing the function group by, don't we need to say that sum the sales or anything? It would by default take summing the sales, or like in the previous example, we said group by customer ID, and then we said sales and stuff.
Yeah.
Sum of. So don't we need to do this again, or the having function will do that?
No, I'm not sure about the question. So example,
Okay.
which you are talking about here.
Just this question, yeah. If you see select customer ID, then you said sum of sales total sales, and then you said at the end group by customer ID to
Yeah.
take out this. Now, in this question, we have just said select customer ID, group by customer ID, and then we have said having sum of sales is greater than
Yeah.
160. So we don't need to pass the function before that sum of sales or anything.
No, that's what exactly we're doing in the having statement, right?
Okay.
Same thing we are doing, but suppose both roles are different. At the end of the day, although we are doing the aggregation, group by will just do the aggregation. Okay. So because it will just do the aggregation, customer ID, what is the total sales? That's it. But in having, you have to filter the record as well. So that's why we are also writing the having sum of sales greater than 160.
Cool.
This was your question, right?
Yeah. Cool.
So understand, things might be similar, things even might be same, but the end goals or end result is different. Okay.
Yeah. Actually, I use Power BI, and in that, when you pass the group by function, you'll have to do the sum and sales. That's why my thinking was coming from there.
Okay. Cool. So this is all.
Is there one more question? Like, is it possible to add like multiple columns in select statement? Here we are selecting only customer ID, right?
No. I can also use the multiple column as well. Okay. Suppose, but for that, let me bigger the table maybe. So you can also use, let's suppose this column. Suppose I have the customer ID this. Let's suppose 111. Okay. Let's suppose department is this. Okay. Let's suppose I have only customer ID 1. Okay. I want to group by customer ID and the department. So the result according to you, it should be look like this. So 11 AB AC, right? So for example, I can say the sales will be like this. For AA, it will be 300. Correct? For AA, it will be 300. For AB, 50 and 150. Correct? So now I am, since only there was only one customer, or let's suppose I have one department, because it cannot be other way around. Okay. Or maybe just let's stick to this. I don't want to change the data. 150. Okay. So let's suppose one customer is falling into multiple department. Let's suppose. Okay. So now I can write select customer ID, department, sum of sales as total sales from order and group by customer ID and department. Okay, so over there you can use more than one column. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So in this, like, if we are having condition like having sales greater than 300, what would the output? Only the first record.
So let's suppose I want only, so this is more around the group by. Okay. Suppose I want another question. Write me a query where department sales is greater than 200, right? So in this case, what I'll do, I will not use the group by, because group by will just give the sum the results. It will not filter the record, right? So over there, what I'll use, simply this query, select customer ID, department sale, if you want to write it. Even if you don't want, that's fine. Okay, it will just simply having sum of sales greater than 200. That's it. So now the result will be look like this.
So here we are mentioning group by 2 columns, right? Customer ID and also department.
Yeah. So group by will just aggregate the data. It's not filtering anywhere. Okay. Where it will just filter the record, but having it will aggregate plus filter the data. So that's what you do. So group by it will give you just this result. But let's suppose I have to filter the record where the department is greater than 200. So only this row comes up. So now it's filtering also happened. So that's why you're coming over here. Make sense, guys?
Yes.
Cool. Now let's jump to the...
I didn't understand the query just above group by and having.
Okay,
Just above the statement.
So over here, so far we were just grouping only on one column, customer ID and sum of sales. Now what he asked, okay, I want to group by the multiple column. So for example, I created another table which is nothing but customer ID is 1, but the department might be something different, right? So customer ID will remain 1, the department will get changed, A, B, A, C. So for AA, the sale will be 100 plus 200, which is 300, right? So this is what the group by result will look like.
Okay. But if we consider the above table, so customer ID is 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, and 3. So
This is the new table.
how
This is
how
the
will
new
it?
table. This is new table. Don't relate with that table. Okay, this is new table, order new something. Okay.
Okay.
Don't relate
So
with
it will
that.
not group by if there are multiple different customer IDs.
No, it can it can do as well, but the point is
How
the result will remain same. So I wanted to show you the result with different results, because even if
what will
you
be the output of that query for this table on which your cursor is?
so suppose I have group by customer ID, right? So
Yeah.
you understand the result will remain same, because one customer ID and the department ID, right? So for each
Yeah.
customer there are only one single row for each department. So for aggregation to happen, there should be multiple records, right? Because one A one combination, one AB one combination, right? Makes sense. If you want to group by the data, at least records should be duplicated, multiple rows should be happen. So that's why what exactly did I changed to 111. So that's I don't have this one A combination is one A combination again. So then I can sum it up, just for example. But if you would talk about okay same example, then again the result will remain same, nothing will come new. Okay.
Will it not take either of that? Like, because there is for 1 and 1, there are different departments.
Yeah.
And for A and A, there are different customer IDs. Customer IDs. Then will it not
Hold
take
on.
either of that?
You tell me. I am grouping by the data at the customer and the department level. Okay. How many unique combination you have for me, customer ID and the department? Can I say it like this? Customer ID. This is the unique combination will exist in the table or not?
Yes.
Now, final result 4 rows, input table 4 rows. So if I say one AA, how many? What is the data? Only this data that exists.
Only one.
So cell will be 100.
Yeah.
One AB, it will be what? 50. So you are
Yes.
not group by is being used when you are using the sum count something, some aggregation is there. But for this data, you can run the group by, it will run no doubt. But I wanted to show you after aggregating the data. So that's why I changed the data set.
Oh.
Now makes sense?
But in this, but in this table, it will be this way. The output will be
This
this
is the exactly what you are seeing over here. This will be the exactly like this.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Total cell.
I got
And you want to run the code, it will run, but it will give the same result.
same result. Yeah. Got it. Thank you.
So if there were another row with a
Yeah.
combination of customer ID 1
Hmm.
and department AA, right?
Yeah. Then it will run. Then
Then-
it will run. Then
yeah.
it will run. Then it will
Then
run.
it will sum.
Yeah.
Yeah, then it will do a sum
Suppose-
of both
yeah.
the records and
Yeah.
then it will
Suppose
show
I
the
have this one
final value.
100. So 1st of Jan, let's suppose AA. Okay. Then I can say okay 100 plus 100, it will be 200 over here.
200. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just
So we can put more conditions in having clause, right? Like we have in where
sorry.
we can put more conditions in having, like right now you
Yeah.
have just put-
Yes. So in the where condition, I use the multiple condition, right? It can be and, it can be or. Same thing is happened in the having as well.
Okay.
Okay. Now we can jump to the having is done. Now we can order. So order is very easy, straightforward. It just sort the data. Now sorting can be done ascending order or descending order, right? So ascending order is by default that we don't have to mention specifically for ascending order. If we are simply saying order by, it will sort the data by default in the ascending order. But if we mention the descending, it will sort the data in descending order. Okay. Suppose what does that mean? Descending order. What does that mean? Select, I'm writing select star from order by sales. Okay. So order by sales, which means it will sort the data based on their sales value. Okay, so which means, and since I do not mention ascending or descending, so by default it will sort the data in the ascending order. Okay, so which will be nothing but 150, it will come first, and then it will be 100. Okay, so this will sort the data based on this column. Is it clear? Similarly, if I write in the descending order, so it will sort the data based on the descending order. Okay, so it will be look like this: 200, 150, like this. So this will sort the data like this, because the sales 200 is at the top. Make sense? Similarly, I can sort the data based on multiple column as well.
So in the above query, we need to mention descending.
Yeah, sorry, my bad. Yeah, descending. Okay. Now I can write that sort the data in the multiple column as well. So look, suppose select star from order, order by date. Let's suppose ascending order, and the sales is descending order. Okay. So over here I am saying order by date first. Okay. So it will order by the date first and then sales descending order. So for over here, if you see, is the 1st of January, right? Or maybe let's suppose this data set, right? So this is the 1st of January. So it will sort the data first on the 1st of January in the ascending order. But again, I'm looking, okay, sales should be in decreasing order. So it will exactly print like this: 200, 150, and 150. The date column is coming first and then sales, and then it's coming the second date. Make sense? Any questions in order by at least? Hello?
No.
Yeah, clear.
Right, this is the straightforward thing, correct? Now the last thing that is pending is about limit function. So in the limit, what it does do, so in some cases limit works, in some cases top works. So at the end of the day, they are nothing but just how many number of record you want to print. So it can be limit, it can be top, but the fundamental functionality of both is same. It just shows X number of records in the results. Suppose I am writing select star from orders, and it is limit 1, limit 2, let's suppose. Or I can also write select top 2 star from orders. So the result from the random table, it will just pin me to these 2 records, and these records can be randomly. Okay, there is no logic, okay, by which 2 record will come, it's random, which MySQL will give you. So either you can put at the top, at the very last end, limit 2, because in MySQL top 2 does not work. In some cases limit does not work. So that's why based on the RDBMS we use limit and top. Okay, so limit, so only these 2 records will be there. By default any random, okay, randomly records are generated or printed. So limit 2, select star from orders. This is the sequential of order, limit 2, and then we have select top 2 star from orders. So which you can do top to this. Okay, so this is the condition of using the limit and top. Make sense?
So this will be a random result.
Yeah,
right?
These are the random result which is given by the RDBMS. Yeah.
Okay, so a real-time example could be a lottery, where let's say I have to decide 2 winners.
Yeah, it will
and
just randomly
I can
pick.
just choose.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it clear? Cool. So today what you have discussed is more around understanding the base structure of each syntax. Okay.
Sorry, Mazher, can you just drop down to that order? So for this query, first it will sort with the date and then with the sales, right?
Yeah.
So let's suppose if I'm having, I'm in the last 2 columns of the second table. The first Jan we are having 50, and then second we have 100. What will be the output for that? if I replace 100 with 50 and 50 with 100 percentage change there.
If
What
I
will be the
replace
output?
100 with 50,
Yes,
okay, let me create another column table. So 100 with 50 and
50 with 100.
yeah,
No, not this one, the below one.
this one, right?
Yeah. How will it?
It will remain same because for me the partitioning, the sorting is first working on the date level. So for the
Okay.
date level, it sort the data first gen, second gen, and
So
now
whatever we provide in the second condition, it will, I mean, run with the first.
yeah. So sequential order is there. First it will sort the data date, and then it will sort the data on sales. So first it's sorted on the date, first gen, second gen, and then in that date it will check, okay, what is the sequential order of sales, 200, 150 and 50.
Okay.
Okay, so it will not change anything. Okay, cool. So I'll just summarize what we discussed today. Okay, so I think join we can start from the next session, but at least today what you understand the basic fundamental of each syntax, what select does, what from does, where, group by, having, order limit, and these are the base query you will be using in every daily basis. Okay, so first we started as select, why we use it, then what is the alias, what type of alias, table level alias or the column level alias, then where and their where condition, how do we filter the data, in between, group by, and then we'll work on the having function, then group by, and then order, and the last we discuss on the limit part. Okay.